Greetings, I am Alex, and welcome to part 3 of the ArtWod program review series. If you missed the previous episodes, that's okay. I basically just covered their Intro to Drawing beginner course that they later reworked and renamed, making my past video irrelevant. In summary, it was pretty much fluff exercises to get you familiar with the basics of holding a pencil and drawing in their app. So today, we're not wasting any time in getting into the real meat of the program, discussing their Intro to Drawing course, which is where the program really locks in, teaching you their methods to learning perspective, form manipulation, introduction to organic forms, form combinations, and finally, applying everything that you've learned together with secrets to drawing anything. Currently, as of the recording, I've made it halfway through the road course. So, I'll be reviewing and covering the first 2 modules, as I time-lapse through the class homework and workouts. Beginning with Intro to Perspective. The introduction is very beginner-friendly, and I really appreciate how Antonio later broke down the perspective elements in several of his illustrations, before having you trace over them to apply the different context clues to determine a horizon line's placement. From there, you're grinding through their perspective exercises, as they slowly start adding more complexity to each lesson and workout. Overall, I have no complaints about the perspective map. It's way more in depth than what I've personally learned in an AP Art class growing up, and nothing too daunting or overwhelmingly advanced like what you would find in a Scott Robertson's book. For example, How to Draw. With that all said, the lessons can be pretty short at times, so it feels like you're making small progress journeying through them, looking back at the roadmap. I didn't have too much trouble understanding the practice objectives, being that they're written at the top of the canvas and are pretty self-explanatory. You'll definitely start to understand why Antonio reiterates in his videos that the program is built for you to practice more than you actually spend time watching through the video lessons. ArtWod confidently gives you enough perspective knowledge and practice once you've worked through all of their grind notes to build up to the next lesson, Intro to Form Manipulation. Now this was a fun one. Here we're learning about the orthographic views of an object to help us learn how to carve into boxes in perspective, as well as extrude faces and round edges. Sounds super complicated, right? Well, all at once it is. But I felt they did a great job having you learn and practice each carving or extruding method simply and individually. I've never learned about the orthographic view of an object, and found it very challenging to work off of. Now, I know perspective and carving into boxes and cylinders isn't everyone's cup of tea at first, if you don't have at least an interest in rigid object construction, like I do. My best recommendation is to look for the fun in the exercises. I personally listen to the Portal soundtrack to get me in the mood of problem solving, boxes with rounded edges, and maybe going a little past what the simple workout was asking for. Honestly, just do your best. Hey, your perspective doesn't have to be perfect if you're feeling like your eyes are going to roll out of your head slogging through the exercises. Give yourself some time and let the information settle and soak in. ArtWod, honestly, it's going to be a grindy workout no matter what. It's in the name, and that's what you just have to go through to get better at art. There's no getting around it, and it's the solid truth. You shouldn't be afraid of it. They've got a great community to cheer you on, and it just takes practice and time to build up your confidence and comfortableness with the program. Endurance is always a key thing to keep in mind while you're continuing through the program. There is still a large plethora of resources that the program offers that I haven't even tried or tested yet. And I just wanted to iterate that the subscription version of ArtWod allows you to start any of these courses or lessons or classes at any time. You don't have to journey all the way through the beginner roadmap and go step by step. You can bounce around if you like, though they highly recommend that all students start out with the beginner roadmaps and leveling up, like how I'm demonstrating in this video series. Well, with that all said, I am sadly out of time. I gotta leave for work here in a couple minutes. But I'll catch you in the next episode, covering their organic forms and form combinations. And finally, ArtWod's secrets to drawing anything. We'll have to see what that lesson entitles. With that, I'll see you guys next time.